Hello everybody and welcome to another video on this channel. Today we're going to be doing something I haven't done before, a round review, a match review of my own team, the Sydney Swans. I've never done anything like this. There's a few reasons why I wanted to do this review. One of those reasons will become very obvious shortly, and probably is already pretty obvious if you did actually watch the match. So, I mean, first of all, the scoreline. Sydney ended up winning the game by 6 points, 16 goals and 10 behinds. 106 plays, 15 goals and 10 behinds, 100. So both teams scored 100. It was a very high-scoring, entertaining match. It started off, Sydney had control, or yeah, I'd dare say Sydney had most of the control in the first quarter, particularly the first half of the first quarter. Let's just scroll down to the score worm over here. So as you can see, Sydney was goal for goal early on. Sydney got a not a major lead, but a small lead before Richmond really turned it on, and I think at one stage they got out to a 33-point lead at one stage, and they just had all the momentum. We were getting smashed in the clearances. It seemed like they were winning just about every clearance. So it was a bit similar to the second quarter against Carlton last week, where we got absolutely belted. There was no one player in particular that was dominating for Richmond. It was their whole team was just dominating us. We weren't giving our forwards a chance because the ball just wasn't going down there. We sort of wrangled back a little bit of momentum late in that second quarter. We got the margin back to 25 points. Franklin took a big contested mark and kicked a goal almost on the halftime siren. And we had the slightest bit of momentum. I had a bit of hope going into the second half, and then straight away, yeah, I remember almost instantly, 16 seconds in, Jaden Short kicks a goal seconds into the second half. I remember it was just a very sloppy centre bounce work from us, allowed for a very simple goal. Should not have kicked that, and I was like, I'd pretty much given up hope at that point. They were up by 31 points again. Then there was a bit of a stalemate, I remember, for the next 10 or so minutes. But here is where things started to change for us. Reed kicked a goal. Franklin kicked a goal. All of a sudden, it was about 18 points. Yeah, it was 18 points. And all of a sudden, we looked back in the game. We weren't completely dominating like Richmond were, but we looked to have the momentum. The momentum was absolutely in our favour. Like our first halves this year have been pretty bad. I think we'd have to be ranked pretty lowly for scores in first half. Second halves, however, is where we usually switch on and start to click into gear a little bit, and today was no different. It was a high-scoring match all throughout. By three-quarter time, the margin was only 6 points. Yeah, Reed, I remember, got a free kick and kicked a goal, his third goal. Reed was okay for us today. And then in the last quarter, Richmond kicked a couple of early goals, which I was a bit concerned about. But then Buddy went ballistic in the last quarter. He ended up with 3 final term goals. He kicked 5 for the match. Then with about, I think like 5 minutes to go, something like that. Maybe a little less. We were up by 12 points. It looked like the match was in our hands. Josh Gibcus, normally a defender, floated forward, kicked the goal. And then what happened next? Well, there was still like a minute or two to go on the clock at that point, but wind down a minute on the clock. The ball was being thrown in and I can't really explain what happened next, so we need to go to a video. So here is the best clip and explanation that I could find so shortly after the match. Yeah, so basically what happened, there was a boundary throw-in, a free kick, well, it got tapped down. Dion Prestia earned a free kick, like pretty much right on the siren. Chad Warner heard the siren, was excited about the win, blah blah blah, whatever. He booted it into the stands. Now, here's where the controversy comes in. Well, he booted it into the stands after a free kick was paid. And, well, let's just see what happened here. So, as you can see there, Chad Warner booted it in the crowd. BT and the umpires all a bit confused. So yeah, basically the umpire's explanation, well, they were still discussing it at this point. There was a couple of umpires, one on screen and I think it's Matt Stevic. Is that Matt Stevic? No, I don't think it's Matt Stevic actually. Him, I don't know his name, and another umpire off screen were debating whether it should be 50 or not, because there was a free kick for a holding. It wasn't a completely obvious free kick, but if you look at it in replay, it was probably there. So it was paid. It was paid like very briefly before the siren, or the whistle had blown briefly before the siren. The siren went. Then the umpire actually called. Yeah, so it was actually after the siren had gone that the umpire called what the actual free kick was for and who it was to. And then the umpires got into a bit of a debate. So the umpire here on screen actually says 50 meters, I think, and then I think the other one off screen says no, it shouldn't be. Yeah, the umpire's explanation basically was that Chad Warner didn't know the free kick had been paid. Which, I mean, BT seemed to disagree. If we
There's no excuse that he doesn't know. Pick up the siren from here, okay? Mark's here. This won't get
yeah, so
there's no way.
Dion Prestia obviously falls well short. He gets hit from like 70 meters, 75 meters, something crazy like that to put it through. That was never happening. So, yeah, the BT seems to disagree that with the umpire's call that he didn't know. Look, in general play, I think the rules go, well, if there's a free kick and if there's a free kick paid to, let's just say, in this example, free kick in general play, like 10 minutes ago, whatever, Richmond player gets a free kick, and then a Swans player boots it away, like, almost instantaneously. There's no 50-meter penalty paid, usually, depending on the umpire, I guess, because, like, they don't know. So, you could make that argument here, but it is, like, although the umpire didn't actually call what the free kick was for before the siren, he did blow the whistle before the siren, so perhaps if Chad Warner had have just, like, held up, there'd be no issue here. Look, in my personal opinion, it's a tough one. It probably should have been 50, honest. It should have been 50. It's a very controversial one. I can't really get the footage up, but Daisy Pearce, after the game, as they were filming the Sydney players walking in, she gave her thoughts that basically there's a difference between when a player just boots it away in general play because they're time wasting, they're not giving it back to the player. that's what the 50-meter penalties are always paid for. They're for time wasting. You're like, it's a free kick. You're booting away, time wasting, allowing for your team to set up and whatever. So it'll be a 50. But in this case, the siren's gone. He can't play on. There's no time wasting. The time's up. There's just one kick left. So you could argue that, but it's still like, it was a dumb thing to do from Chad Warner, and it didn't rob Richmond of a win, because even if it had been paid 50, but the Pressy goes back and kicks the goal, it would have been all level anyway, a draw. So yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts. There's going to be a lot of debate on this one. Let's move on briefly, talk about a few other things. I've talked enough about this controversial 50 or non-50 call at the end. So let's just take a look at the game. It was a very high-scoring game. It was a brilliant game. Probably game of the round so far. There was a Buddy Franklin obviously kicked 5. He won the Man Grook medal. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, it was. Well, another talking point out of this game is free kicks, because as you can see here, free kick count was 30-all. There was a lot of talk last week about the Hawthorn v Brisbane game being over-officiated. That game had 63 free kicks in total. This one had 60, so yeah, lately the umpires have been paying a lot more free kicks, it seems. And yeah, I remember there was a lot of times during this game where I was like scratching my heads at some of the calls going our way, and then there was other times I'm like, how did we get that free kick? That didn't make any sense at all. So you can't say the umpiring in general was really favoured to one side. I mean, look at this, it's 30-all. So the umpiring in general wasn't favoured to any one side. It was just, it was definitely over-officiated. Too many free kicks paid. But yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap up this review. Been at this for about 13 minutes now. Yeah, so this one, there'll be a lot of debate on this game about that ending. What should have happened? Did Sydney deserve to win? Well, they definitely didn't deserve to lose, because again, like I said, would have been a draw anyway. But look, some people are probably just going to make the argument, oh, Richmond choked, they didn't deserve the shot of winning anyway. But I mean, I guess you could say that, but it's a bit of a weak argument in my opinion. So yeah, there'll probably be a lot of angry Richmond fans, a lot of happy Swans fans. Sydney, let's just take a look at them on the ladder now. This was a much needed win, by the way, for Sydney. If we didn't win this, we were in a bit of a spot of bother at 6 and 5 with Melbourne to play next week. But this gives us a little bit of breathing space, and I think I'm going to wrap that up here. Yeah, give me your thoughts. I probably think that we didn't deserve to. We didn't deserve to lose, but we didn't deserve to win either. Oh, well, saying we didn't deserve to win is different to saying that 50 should have been paid, because I feel like we still did deserve to win. We were better. We were the better team. We were the better team for longer, in my opinion. Made a huge comeback. But yeah, the 50 probably should have been paid. I'm going to wrap that up here. I'll see you all later. Bye.